I've got 15 special editions of books that I've read and loved and would recommend. First up, I've got the Fairy Loot edition of Babel by Kuang. This magic system is based on the power of translation, and the story deconstructs colonization and its effect on the world at large. Next up, we've got Yellowface by Kuang as well. This is the Lumicrate edition. This criticizes certain elements of the publishing industry, and this is the book that was stolen by Athena Liu, The Last Front. The Illumicrate edition of A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This is the first book in the Elements Cadence duology. This follows a bard and his journey back to his magical homeland, and his part in uncovering the truth of their past. One of my favorites, The Sword of Kaigen by Wang, and this is the Page and Wick edition. This follows the main character Misaki, who is struggling with her past as a warrior and her duties as a mother. It has elemental magic, it's equal parts heart-wrenching and heartwarming. This is the indie hardcover of Blood Over Brighthaven, also by Wang. This feminist dark academia follows the main character, who is the first woman high mage of her time. The Fairy Loot edition of The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. This takes place in the same world as the David Bad trilogy. Follows the main character Amina. She grapples with motherhood and her past of piracy. Lumicrate's edition of A Study in Drowning by Reid. In this feminist dark academia, the main character uncovers the truth behind the past of her favorite author. There are fairy fantasy elements in this as well. The first two books in the Roots of Chaos series by Samantha Shannon, Priory of the Orange Tree, and A Day of Fallen Night. This series uncovers the history and the politics of the peoples of this world, as well as the mysteries of the dragons and worms that inhabit it. Some of the most stunning end pages. Fairy Loot edition of Tales of the Celestial Kingdom novella by Lynn Tan. It has additional stories during, before, and after the events of the Celestial Kingdom duology, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and The Heart of the Sun Warrior. The Al-Crate editions of Legendborn and Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. This YA fantasy follows the main character Bree as she unpacks the grief of the loss of her mother, as well as the mystery of her passing. This has secret societies and Arthurian legend. My 25th anniversary edition of Wicked by Gregory Maguire. This is the true story of Elphaba, or the Wicked Witch of the West. This is what the Broadway sensation is based on, soon to be a feature film. The Satis Fiction edition of Lore of the Wilds by Analeigh Sbrana. This follows Lore, the powerless human who comes across a sentient library and a grimoire that shows her how to have true magic. While there is a lot going on in this book, it is also super cozy. The Fairy Loot edition of Faebound by Saara El-Arifi. This follows two elven sisters and their path to uncover what happened to the Fae, mysteries of their world, finding love and coming into their power. And these are just the special editions that I've read and would recommend. I do have a whole bunch of special editions that I get through my subscriptions that I haven't gotten to yet. So if you want to check out those as well, head over to my bindery.